What's up, guys? I'm Naz of Metal Home, to 150 classic albums by the end of the year. I'm also doing Patreon requests, and I'm doing Deftones. This is the one time I'm actually going to just do a request that I'm giving myself. I have about 200 subs over on Patreon, and they can all request an album, which leaves me not too much time to be able to do albums outside of requests, which I'm incredibly grateful for, because most people are requesting albums that I enjoy and stuff like that, so I don't mind. But I'm going to Deftones concert in 4 days, and I want to get through a bit more Deftones catalog. I was incredibly surprised by White Pony, because I absolutely adore Around the Fur, one of my favorite albums of all time now, when I listen to it, and it's a heavier sound. Like, it feels like it melds, like, the Adrenaline, you come in with that heavy nu metal sound, and then Around the Fur feels like it's the perfect culmination of the heaviness of that nu metal mixed with the quintessential Deftones, like sheen and melody and stuff like that. And I expected White Pony to go into a very similar category, like maybe like shave it down a tiny bit, like the Edge, but it is completely different. Like, I've heard some songs off of Saturday Night Rest, like Cherry Waves. I haven't heard many others, but White Pony is a lot closer to like that Deftones than Around the Fur, and that shocked me. And I just assume, I'm just like, I don't know where Deftones is going to go from here, because I know that like the 2008 and 2006 album, they kind of, from my understanding, they kind of sound similar to me, like they're the Deftones sound, right? White Pony does that. I don't hear people talk about the self-titled album at all, so I don't know what this sounds like, or if it's leans more into that I guess like prettier shoegazy sound rather than the like heavier like angst of nu metal. I don't know if this delves into that as much, or what this album does, because out of the albums from Deftones, I feel like the self-titled, Ohm, and Gore are the three that just do not get mentioned. I think I hear a decent amount around all of the other ones, but I never hear anything about these three. So I'm going in completely blind into this album with no prior context of what it's about, or prior context of like what people say about the album even. So completely blind reaction, and Deftones is becoming easily one of my favorite bands, so I'm excited to see where they go. See, like, alright, that's coming in. Already this sounds more chaotic, but less like angsty from like a nu metal chaos like energy. But like the mental state is more chaotic. Ooh, I like this. Despite this having like a more compressed sound, I feel like it sounds more edgy and abrasive just because of the vocal performances. There's also a completely different tone with the guitars and stuff compared to the other albums. It's interesting. I like how the vocals are compressed like they're being suffocated. Like, it feels like purposely muted in a way. It sounds so much more painful. White Pony feels like it was like a perfectly constructed, but it didn't grapple me as much emotionally. Where like Around the Fur was able to do that with however it was melding its like fucking sexed up appeal and the new metal and all of that sort of stuff. White Pony felt like they perfected that sound, but it didn't hit the core of me as much, even though like I love Changes, I love Knife Party, all those songs. It's like they're amazing tracks that I can't wait to hear live, but I don't know, I feel like it's not that weird of a concept, but like these tracks that like feel like they're deep personal identity markers, right? Like the ones that you just love deep down, like there's something that hits there. I haven't really gotten that with White Pony. I just go like, holy fuck, these songs are sick and I love listening to them, but they don't I haven't gotten like a meaningful experience with them yet. With this one, it feels like it's less polished and maybe like less good of a track or something like that. But the emotional turmoil that is being expressed on the track feels like it's able to hit the more like pierce down in the more meaningful sense for me. And I'm curious to see how this like unravels because of that. Hi, if you haven't watched me before, by the way, I do ratings on the site. These are my first listen ratings. I listen to these projects multiple times over before I post them to my Discord, where you can chat to me about the ratings. I'm always active in there. I also post it to the music rating website that I use, which is Album of the Year. It says 600 written reviews. I've actually done about 1,200. Before this channel, I basically listened to 10 albums front to back my entire life, and that was Linkin Park, Bring the Horizon, Beartooth, all that sort of stuff. Basically like a mixture of post-hardcore, metalcore, new metal sort of stuff. So, funnily enough, I never really listened to a Deftones track, and then when they were headlining with Bring the Horizon for Good Things Festival, I listened to them. I was like, holy shit, they're like a long lost band for me. Like, what the hell? Like, why have I never heard of them? Like, I've heard about them maybe, but I didn't know any of their tracks. And I think it's the reason why I've taken to this so well. But yeah, overall, my album of the year, in the past year and a bit, I've listened to about 1,200 albums, got an average rating of a 6 out of 10. I solely think that's because I'm listening to mostly Patreon requests, like I mentioned before. It's $5 a month, and every single person has the ability to request an album, and that means 200 albums a month. And because of that, I can't listen to anything outside of that, and they're usually going to request good albums, so it just works out that it's going to be above a 5 out of 10 average, which spiritually I think my rating is, because if something's a 5.1, I think it's above average. With that being said, I'm bouncing on this track between like a 7 and 8. 7's good, 8's great. I think the emotional, like meaningful core of the track is the reason that I think I'm going to give it an 8. On a re-listen, it might be a bit lower, because the compression is something that I appreciate on like an artistic level, and I think it is part of the reason why I am feeling like it is more meaningful, because it feels like the like woes and the internal struggles is being suffocated. But on like a sonic level, like the melodies and the guitar playing and all that sort of stuff does sound better when it's less compressed. So like a Changes or something like that, or a Cherry Waves. And I think I have to grapple with those sort of things. On a re-listen, it might go down because of those just like more surface level sort of stuff, of it just sounding better when it doesn't have as much compression. But as I said, like artistically, I very much understand why they have that, and I think it does work with like making the tracks feel a bit more meaningful. Ooh, this has the cleanness. This is a whole lot less compressed, it seems. Ooh. Ooh, this sounds like typical Deftones. Tuna is such an amazing music vocal. I love that, this dude's voice. It's like, no one has his voice. Fuck yes. The play from the screams and like the gorgeous, tense vocals. Ugh. It's the reason why I've always said that I think like Deftones could become my favorite band. The curdling. I love it. This song is so fucking sick. Oh, are they playing this? If they play anything, surely it's this one like Minerva or something. Because those are the highest rated ones. Deftones solos. They're so massive in South America, it seems. Or maybe they're just been touring now. That's cool. Oh. This track is just fucking amazing. Like, this is a 9 easy for me. Like, it might even go higher. I would have to, like, listen to songs off of White Pony and stuff like that and, like, listen to them front to back to see like actually do I like this as much as a White Pony track if I have it right next to me, because like a part of me feels like, oh, I like this song just as much as I do as like the top tracks off of White Pony, which means that I'll give it like a 9 or a 10, but or like a high 9 or a 10. It's like 9.5 or something. But I have ADHD shit, so I have really bad memory, so I need to make sure that I actually am listening to the songs back to back, or I wouldn't know. Also, why is this one considered their self-titled? What caused them to have like multiple albums into their like career to then make it? I can understand sort of, because White Pony is like a melding between what ended up being in my mind Deftones and the nu metal sort of stuff that they started off with, despite the fact that I think Round the Fur is like their best album so far. Like when I think of Deftones for whatever reason, I always think of like this sort of like shoegazy or prettier stuff. It also makes more sense because they've been like this for 23 years now, it seems. But yeah, I'm wondering why they do use this one as a self-titled. And it's also kind of like, I don't know why this would make me sad, but it kind of feels sad that like I looked at their set list and the only album they don't play is their self-titled. That feels kind of just sad. Granted, it could be the fact of this album feels a lot more like there's a lot more emotional turmoil to it. So maybe it's like a fact of like it's just too personal of an album to play. They don't like playing it, but but like it could also just be the fact that it's like less popular. But like they're playing tracks off of Gore and Ohm, which I swear aren't rated as well by like fans and critics and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they don't play anything off of it. It's like Ohms, they play a song off Ohms, they play a song off Adrenaline, 2 off White Pony, which actually sounds like a small amount. It could be just, it somewhat makes sense, I guess, because they're doing like 7 songs of private music. I guess that's one of the issues that you sort of have when you have a band that's just been around for like 40 years. You're suffering from fucking success because you have so many amazing albums, and just not enough time. Like they could probably do a 4-hour set and they could play and like it would be a great set because they just have so many amazing albums that are spreading across so many different albums, eras and shit like that. So you're kind of suffering from success whenever you have like a new album from Deftones because you only have a finite amount of time and you can't fit in all of the amazing tracks because like there's not even a single song off of this album on their set list. And Needles and Pins feels like for any other band it would be a song that would be easily able to be played on a set list like in concert, but they're just too good. Like the fact that they're only playing 2 tracks from White Pony is just crazy to me because that's like the album that I feel like gets the most love. Oh. Oh. Every single track they go into with this album, it feels like they're delving harder into like the Deftones sound that I know them for. Yeah. It's so sad they won't even play this. Like, this is amazing. Oh, this kind of has like a Black Parade, My Chemical Romance vocally there. I wonder if there's Deftones influence My Chemical Romance. They're both in post-hardcore, so it makes sense. Or at least like tangentially. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the My Chemical Romance tracks on this chorus. And I mean that with a lot of love. Oh. This song is so good. I love this. I think this is a perfect track. I don't give a fuck. Like, this is a 10 to me. Like, I love My Chemical Romance and Deftones. This feels like I'm melding them both. What an absolutely stunning track. It's so... I don't know why I did this to myself. I guess like some backstory is like I sort of care about music journalism sort of stuff. I'm about to get my bachelor in journalism, and I wouldn't mind doing music journalism, considering I'm already doing so much when it comes to like writing reviews and stuff like that. So, but for whatever reason, I don't know why I read a blurb. I use Album of the Year, and it has an aggregate of all of the critics' ratings, and I was just scrolling through that a tiny bit while I was listening to this, because I was like, damn, the song is so good. And then I saw Pitchfork, which is, I would say, like the top two music critic website. It'd be like Rolling Stones, and I think Pitchfork are the most important ones. Pitchfork for like the more modern era, and they're very snobby, which I actually really like, because at the moment, I don't know if a lot of people would know, but like music journalism is kind of just fucked at the moment. No one gives negative reviews, so it kind of just leaves only Pitchfork to give negative reviews now. So a good example of this is if you look at any band from the 2000s, and you think of like their best albums, even though these aren't considered amazing bands, but if you go to like Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, Bullet for My Valentine, there's a billion other 2000s bands, Sum 41, all of that sort of stuff, right? They might get like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 critic score on average across like 12 different publications for those albums. And those are on the albums that people absolutely love. And then you'll see that their next albums will get like 3 out of 10s. But once you get to their most recent, any album that's post 2020, they have like an 8 out of 10 on that critic, because for whatever reason, New Age critics, I really want to investigate why. I'm doing investigations and feature articles in my last course for uni, and I wasn't allowed to do this one because they said it was too broad. But I want to investigate why, because if I think there isn't a single album below a 4 out of 10 by critics from last year in every single album released. That shouldn't make sense. And anyway, I was reading Pitchfork, and saw the Pitchfork blurb, and they said something along the lines of like, oh, Deftones is just, I think, I'll read it out so we can both bond over how annoying this is. Deftones sounds more like a band in the throes of a midlife crisis than a group of musicians that could be called the Radiohead of metal. The reason that annoyed me is actually, if you've watched some of my reactions, I do make a lot of comparisons to Radiohead, because Radiohead feels like from my generation, feels like the quintessential rock band when it came like artistic rock band. I think like there is enough time between me and OK Computer as there was for people that as there was time from OK Computer to Dark Side of the Moon. There was more time now between me and OK Computer than OK Computer, Dark Side of the Moon. And I think like if I'm using that sort of paradigm, I feel like Radiohead's kind of in the ballpark of a big, like our generation's Pink Floyd or something like that, like these artistic like giants. And I think like if we try and make like broad connections to say like who's this generation's like Black Sabbath, I would say maybe Deftones is maybe along that line. But I would say that I have made the comparison that I feel like Deftones is like the Radiohead of metal, big, and like post-hardcore and stuff like that, because they have been able to do it for like 30 plus years, and there's not many bands that are able to make quality music for that long, because I thought Private Music was fucking sick, and there's not many bands that are able to do that, let alone there's not that many bands. Like the reason why I was mentioning My Chemical Romance throughout this track was if you look at like 2000s, because of the like kind of death of rock tail ending in the 2000s with the popularity of like Diamond albums first coming through with rap with Eminem and 50 Cent and stuff like that, and Kanye. The predominant genre is now rap, but it was rock, and the ending of like the rock era, I looked back, and in 2000s, funnily enough, the bands that are the most like critically acclaimed and loved and popular are like My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. So those are like, I guess, like the high level bands, and So when I compare this track that reminds me of a lot of My Chemical Romance, I mean that with a lot of love. Because, yeah, they're one of the best bands for my generation. We kind of just don't have that many bands anymore. But I love this. I absolutely love it. I just did a massive yap, sorry about that, but yeah. Love this track. It's interesting how Hexagram kind of lent more into the compression than the track so far. Ooh. There's a bit of like an emo wave on some of these. I feel it in this track too. Like it's very minor, but it feels like it's in there, like a bit of an emo thing. I love this. I wouldn't be surprised if this is considered like a lower one with Deftones because it maybe of this like more emo aesthetics feelings that I'm getting. But like I love that. Yeah, this is the lowest rated album. Apart from Gore. But I love her. I don't know if I like this one or Needles and Pins more. But they're both very close. I'll give it an 8.5. Bounce it between the two. I love it. I love it. More basic. Sort of. Ooh. This feels like more into the new era. Luckily, I love all eras, it seems. And all meldings of the two. It feels just like a consistent track. Because like Deftones is so consistently great, this feels like what I expect. But I just have such a high bar. But they're kind of meeting it comfortably, but like not blowing past my expectations. But like I have the expectations of them being a great band. Because I really like this song, but I like how clear the lyrics are in this one. It feels like it very much focuses more on the lyricism. Dude, I love this band. It's such a joy to be able to experience it for the first time. I feel very privileged to be in this position. I'll give it like another 8.5. Like great to amazing track. I feel very privileged. Thank you for all the support you guys have given to allow me to do this, like a part-time job sort of. I love the atmosphere. I really love how stripped back this album is. It doesn't feel like it's stripped back for polish the same way that White Pony was, where it's like stripped back for like more concise songwriting. This feels like it's stripped back for atmosphere and like emotional resonance reasons, and I fucking really like it. I would probably say that like if it keeps up with this level of quality, that easily this would be an incredibly underrated album. I'm not just like someone that, like my average rating is a 6. I don't just like dick suck any album. It's like I love this atmosphere. I don't know where this vocal tone came, like, vocal tone came from, but like, the recording style of like hardcore and stuff going through like a fucking walkie-talkie, I kind of just love it. But I want to know where that comes from. Ooh. There's a heaviness underneath this, I really like. Damn. It just feels like a bit of a weaker track, but like, I still like it a lot. It's very hexagram. I love the angst. I'll go like 7.5. Good to great track. It also, like, this, there's a chance that this one, because of like the heaviness and the angst stuff, it connects with me a bit more on like a re-listen or something like that. Like that, I could definitely see this going up and not being like the lowest rated or whatever so far. I never want them to stop making music. Considering they're able to get the quality to the point of private music, the world's just a better place if they just make more and more and more music. Even if it sounds like this, because like this does sound similar to the stuff they've been doing for like 20 years it seems. But it's just great. Just a great track. It's such a joy. Yeah, it's just such a joy to be able to listen to this. I see that this song is rated so much lower than the other ones. I am so wondering why. Granted, this kind of sounds like it's leaning into like a trip hoppy sort of thing, maybe. I've never heard trip hop, but this is what I assume trip hop is. Well, I've never heard any of the greats, like Massive Attack or anything like that, but I've heard it sometimes. This is definitely different. I'm not gonna just dislike it or anything because it's different. It's quite different. Like, I don't mind them going out of their like normal formula and sound. I do prefer their normal sound, but like, it doesn't like take my respect for the album or anything. It's This kind of sounds like the Matrix soundtrack or something. It's alright. I don't think it's a bad song by any means. It's kinda cool. Like, even if my rating is lower than the other tracks, I respect it. It's kind of cool tone. Like, the lasery sound feels like not the typical lasery sound that I hear. I'll give it like a 6.5, maybe 7. Like, I think it's like decent and good. It's sad that I got such a low rating compared to the rest of the tracks, I guess. Because it's not that far off, I think. But I think it's pretty cool. I don't know why this one isn't grappling me the same way. I really like it. But I do think I appreciate, like, battle actions a bit more. I like it. This one will take a few re-listens for me to truly figure out how I feel about it. Because at the moment, I'm thinking like a 7.5. But like, it feels too harsh because I think, like, I don't know. Yeah, this one will just take a few more re-listens, I think. It feels like I'm at the cusp of like loving it. I think it's good though. Ooh, I like that ending a lot. That's really cool. I like how concise their albums are too. They don't really put in a lot of fluff. And I guess they get lambasted when they put in something even slightly fluff with like Lucky You. Ooh. I like the industrial sound of this. And how like echoey and cavernous it sounds. Ooh. Ooh. I like how pretty it is. Definitely more stripped back and a lot more similar to like, I guess like, they come from like the Californian scene. It reminds me of a lot of like the underground bands that I've been like reviewing from like 90s. There's like a different form of like Californian sound I feel like this is delving into. Like a prettier, more stripped back. I respect it. I got like 7.5 on this one too. It's really pretty. It shows that like, if they didn't have the quintessential Deftones sound and like one in this genre, they would still be able to, like, China's voice is just so good it would be able to be in like any style of band and it'd still be a pretty good band. I might give this an 8. I think this is great, actually. I like it a lot. This is such a good album. I think, like, I'm now certain that it's an underrated album. Like, incredibly certain. It's just so good. Like, it's sad that no one talks about it. Or I've never heard anything about it. Like, it, as I said, like, Ohm and Gore mixed with this, it's like they're the only three albums that just doesn't get mentioned, I feel. I like the album cover too. It's pretty neat. Like an 8.5. As you can tell, I think this is a pretty great album. It's also a very consistent album. Minerva might be one of my favorite Deftones songs as well. Really fucking great album, and I can't wait to see them live. I think this, I might do Saturday Night Wrist, I'm not too sure, by myself. But hey, if you enjoyed this video and reaction, and you want me to see like react to more Deftones, just over on my Patreon, you can support further. It's $5 a month and higher depending on the tier, and each tier has an album request that you can do. I would absolutely adore if people picked to request some more Deftones, because I absolutely love them. Also, Deftones is a part of my classics list, which means that I have different tiers for priority. So like if you want it done within like the month, the video, you can pay extra for that. But with Deftones, it always just has priority. There's certain artists that have that. It's like Radiohead. If you request a Radiohead album, it's going to get priority naturally. If you request Deftones, it gets priority. If you request Pink Floyd, it gets priority. Just like there's some artists that I have, because they're on my classics album list, that I want to listen to for the first time, that it just doesn't matter. Don't have to pay more to get it quicker. It's gonna get it quicker because I want to listen to them so much. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I absolutely love this fucking album. And this is an criminally underrated album. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Absolutely love it. Peace.